The market over the last week has been unpredictable. It's not been too friendly for holders of altcoins. So if you're a more passive investor and maybe you don't want to take on too much risk in this market, but you want exposure to each niche, in this video, I'm going to give you the ultimate portfolio, but I can only choose one coin per narrative. We're talking gaming, RWA, memes, NFT coins, trading coins, all the different niches in crypto. I'm going to give you one coin that you can put in a portfolio and hold this basket throughout the cycle and likely catch the upside of each of these narratives while also being in very safe and secure projects that you don't have to check in day to day and worry whenever you see altcoin dips like we just saw. So without further ado, let's jump into it. And first and foremost, guys, drop down below, like the video, and subscribe to the channel for more every single day and every week here on In The Game. We have you covered from all the hottest coins as well as the hottest narratives, RWA, gaming, meme coins, AI. We have you covered right here on In The Game. As well, a big shout out to all of our sponsors here on In The Game. We have some incredible sponsors from 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗏, 𝗏𝗏𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀, ledger, FOMO. We have Medieval Empires and our newest sponsor, CRADLE Games, which I will talk about here in just a second, as well as our sponsors for trading down below. You can check out Bybit, Blowfin, 𝗑𝗥𝗚𝗏 as well. I recommend Blowfin, no KYC. You can jump right in, trade. If you're in America, you're able to jump in and be able to take advantage of this without any KYC regulations. So jump down below, check out Bybit, as well as our new sponsors, CRADLE Games. So CRADLE Games, one thing I really like about this is we've always talked about this future of AR, VR, and they already have a virtual reality game, a VR game, live on the App Store on Steam. So you can go ahead and jump over to Steam and check out CRADLE Games. Their first game, 𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗪𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 cross-play fantasy game, and you can jump in with friends. You can jump in. It's PvP or PvE as well. Their token just went live a couple of days ago, which is actually trading at a couple $1 million market cap right now. So just an introduction to our sponsors, CRADLE Games, and we're going to be talking a lot more about them this month. I would absolutely check in down below. They have betting, they have prize pools, they have tournaments, there's trading, lots going on in this ecosystem. So a big shout out to our new sponsors here, CRADLE Games, and their premier title, Cradle of Sins. Now, let's jump into the market. And of course, I'm going to give you guys all of my one pick per narrative picks here in just a moment. But obviously, we're looking at the market right now, and this is just, it's a bloodbath out there for most altcoins. It's not really something that anyone's excited about at this point in time. When we look across the board, we see Bitcoin down over all 3 time periods. Most altcoins, like just look at the sea of red on this screen here on Nexus, which is the software platform that actually I built out. You can check it out down below to track the markets and your portfolios. But oh my goodness, like it is a sea of red out there currently. So right now, I want people to just zoom out a little bit. Obviously, I saw this tweet from DePin Tokens, very good tweet. If you've had a bad week, which many have, like most people, unless you are a top 0.1% trader, you're probably in the red this week. That's just how it goes, right? Good times wouldn't exist without bad times. Highs can't exist without lows. And hopefully this past week is just a higher low in your life and in your portfolio. So things always work out in the end. The struggle is the best part. Eventually, when you hit your in-game targets, you'll miss these days. So, the struggles are, where you really get it out of the mud, as they call it, like in the rap genre, right? This is where you're in the trenches. You're trying to figure out, how you're going to get to that end goal. And you'll look back on these days and be grateful that you went through it, right? And that's not like some philosophy. That is true, like in every single thing. Any struggle in life, you'll always look back on it and it taught you a lesson on how to get there. And, for me, it's if you're worried about your bags and what you're doing on a day-to-day basis, like from a price fluctuation standpoint, I think you're looking at it all wrong. And that's your first mistake versus having the correct 2025 bull run time horizons when you see that we are in the most bullish crypto climate for both adoption, acceptance, mainstream institutions getting involved, US pushing it at the forefront of finance. Like, it's not going to happen in a day. It's not going to happen a week from now, and it's probably not going to happen a month from now. But if you look over the long-term time horizon, every single time, the long horizon has won in crypto, okay? So I want everyone to just take a chill pill for now. We have big legislation coming through. We have the crypto czar David Sachs yesterday saying that Bitcoin's an excellent store of value, a potential reserve is in play, that the stable coins could be the thing that holds the dollar value. Like, crazy updates yesterday, and the market tanked afterwards because there wasn't like action, and the market was kind of priced in for that press conference. We're seeing BlackRock ETFs buying the second largest amount of Ethereum on record. Like, and we're sitting here wondering why the 2-day price action is just so bearish. So I think in that regard, we have to just take a step back, look at the bigger picture. That's what I'm doing at this point in time. And to simplify it for people, maybe you're over allocated. Maybe I have a high risk tolerance. I'm in a bunch of different coins. I'm in a bunch of different pre-token sales, meme coins. I'm a very risk-on investor, and I understand that, and that's the risk that I take in the industry, right? But maybe you are a beginner. Maybe you also are someone who just doesn't stick to the charts every day. Like, I look at coins every day. I check out memes. I check out AI coins, gaming coins, all the news, the updates. Like, this is my full-time job. This is my full-time industry that I live in. So maybe you're not that. Maybe you go to work every day, you can't catch up with the trade of the day, or you want something a little more passive. So in this video, I'm going to give you 9 tokens, 1 per niche. We're talking RWAs, AIs, DePin, gaming, meme coins, the list goes on. I'm going to give you 1 coin per sector that probably over the next 10 months to end out 2025, where we probably forecast brand new all-time highs, and when altcoin season actually does occur, for you to just sit in for the rest of the year. These are 9 coins, 1 per sector. As all of these sectors pump throughout the year, you will have great exposure, and also the ones I'm about to give you are very, very low risk. So high upside, solid foundation, great projects, as well as low downside. So let's go ahead and jump into it, guys. We're going to start with blockchain. So there's a lot of picks here. I know a lot of people are so bullish on like SUI, and there's TON, and there's, you know, Cardano, XRP, all these different things. Like, there's a lot of like chain / like mainstream protocols out there. And honestly, if I wasn't to give you a top, you know, coin, which I'm going to honestly settle in that top 10 area, because we're looking at the really safe portfolio here. This is for someone who doesn't want to touch their portfolio for a few months from now, and they can come back and look at it and most likely, you know, have a pretty high chance of profitability given the climate that we're in this year of crypto. So if I was going a little more risk on, I would look at Kaspa. I really like Kaspa, and I think under 10 cents is a great buy price. But what I'm going to do for someone who's just trying to set a foundational portfolio, and honestly, this is not just for beginners. I think that like you can always take notes on these things. If you're just picking 1 coin to have exposure in every single narrative in crypto, what is it going to be? For me, the blockchain play is obvious this cycle. I think Solana goes to $500. And while people will come to the comment section and say, well, it's only a 2.5x from here, Hustle, why wouldn't we go with a lower market cap coin? Well, at the end of the day, you know, volume speaks, and pump fund volume, it lives 100% on Solana. And over the last 14 days, there's been $4.3 billion in pump fund volume, right? 7 million tokens launched. There's been 3,000 token launched today. I'm recording this at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. It's crazy. The amount of fees that the protocol is making is $523 million since March 1st. Like, it's a pretty insane time to be on Solana. And this is where the on-chain casino lives. This is where a lot of projects are now building, and the focal point of trading right now, all the activity is on either Hyperliquid or Solana. So for me, I'm betting on Solana. I think Solana gets to about $500 this cycle, and I think it is probably one of the safest holds throughout the entire cycle. So that is my blockchain pick. So the chain we are going with is Solana. Now, rolling into the next narratives is gaming. Now, gaming, I'll be honest, this was the hardest one for me to choose. You really have a couple of options here. Do you want to go with a gaming infrastructure play that's going to have a bunch of games building on it, is tied in with a bunch of different projects, he has some tech behind it like a blockchain, like a Beam or an IMX or something like that? Or do you want the gaming and AI crossover to be able to get you a little bit of exposure to both of those narratives? So for me, this came down to either Superverse or Echelon Prime. Now, both of them have their pros and cons. Like if we just go look at both of these tokens, we can go look at Super. Super's down 50. It's a great entry point for Super, sitting at 68 cents over the course of the bull. This has been trading at over $1 plus for the entire time. So at 68 cents, for me, Superverse is a great DCA. And of course, Echelon Prime's back at $7. And whenever we were looking at this price action over the course of the last couple of months, we got all the way back up to $18. So I think both of these are great trades. Echelon Prime is going to give you a little more exposure to the AI gaming scene, and then Super is going to give you more exposure to more so the entire crypto gaming landscape. So it depends on what you're more bullish on. Prime is its own ecosystem, whereas Superverse is kind of the super token of gaming. So for me, because I'm actually including two coins that are going to incorporate AI, I am going to edge out slightly at this discount to go with Superverse. I do think that Super, there's less tokens to come into dilution. If you look at, the prime market cap is about 3x difference from fully diluted, but that's not really the big deal for me. I want a coin that's more entrenched in gaming for when that gaming run happens. And I feel like Super to $5 is absolutely possible this cycle, which is almost a 10x from these current prices. So my gaming coin I'm gonna roll with here in a very close battle. I would not fault anyone for taking Echelon Prime in this scenario because of the Wayfinder app prompt coming, the colony game. There's a lot of stuff going on there. But for me, Superverse is basically incorporated with all the biggest chains and all the biggest games. And I like that for a future approach of kind of being that gaming ETF coin. You can invest in Super and by nature kind of have a little bit of exposure to all the gaming coins across the market. So I am going to go with Superverse in a very close battle, I have to say, between Super and Prime. Moving over to AI, another one that, look, it's actually a pretty close race. Whenever I'm looking at AI, this is a matter of, I know I have AI, there we are. So it's a matter of more safety versus risk on. And, I could go with something like a neural AI, a GPU. They're all hit hard. All these coins are, the AI niche has been hit very hard due to its recent run. But I'm going to go with a safer bet that's also down 39% this month. Absolutely crazy. 𝗏𝗔𝗀 to me is the Bitcoin of AI coins. And a lot of people think the same. Either this or Render is really what it came down to for me. I am going into 𝗏 for the rest of 2025 as my main AI play. I'm not going to pick an individual AI agent that could fold in the next couple of months. 𝗏𝗔𝗀 has its own chain. There's projects like Neural that are building on 𝗏𝗔𝗀 subnets. Like there's a lot going on under the hood here for 𝗏 and for the OpenTensor Foundation. And I am absolutely 100% convicted in 𝗏 as my #1 AI coin for this cycle, especially if you just want exposure to all these different narratives and be able to hop away for a few months, not even have to worry about it, putting together more of a long-term portfolio here. I'm absolutely certain that 𝗏 is my selection here. So far, chain, we have Solana. Gaming, we have Superverse, and AI, we have chosen OpenTensor. Now, moving on down the ladder here, we have a tough decision here. So we could either incorporate AI agent, or what I'm going to do, I'm going to say Launchpad, because the Launchpad of choosing for me this cycle is going to be AI incorporated. So I told you guys that I kind of have two AI plays. And I could have gone 𝗏𝗏i here. You guys know I love 𝗏𝗏i. I have a position in 𝗏𝗏i. Their AI agent launches have been absolutely crushing. But I think Virtuals is way oversold at this price level. On the 1 month chart, this thing is down 67%. They're also incorporating over on the base chain as well as Solana. This is where all the AI agents, this is AI agent pump fund, basically, whenever you're looking at it. So for me, Virtual, especially at this valuation at $1.35, $870 million market cap, let's just look at where this thing was. I mean, this thing was at $4.50. It's sitting at $1.35 right now. It's a risk I'm absolutely willing to take. So my launch pad bet will be on virtual protocol. Now, moving on down the line, once again into RWA. I think you guys would know what my RWA play is. It's been one of the strongest coins in the market over the last 30 days. Pretty straightforward. I'm going with Mantra. Look, Mantra's partnering up with some of the biggest entities like Google. They're partnering up with some of the biggest property developers like DAMAC in a $1 billion deal to revolutionize tokenized real world assets. Like, this is massive for me, and the coin's performance just speaks for itself. This thing has probably 10x'd over the course of the last year and a half, and I think it's probably going to do another 5x from here. A very, very safe RWA play, and especially as Trump and the current crypto administration is pushing legitimized projects, you know, they're leaning into the meme coin culture, but at the end of the day, projects like Mantra will catch the eyes of big entities like what Ondo has done with BlackRock, but I'm going to choose Mantra, their rapid developments, the amount going on here, and the strength of the token in this market specifically. I'm absolutely convicted in Mantra, and I will choose OM, O-M, as my RWA token. And kind of keeping on that same path, we will move on to the DePin niche. So I did a video a few weeks ago where I kind of mentioned, I kind of basket in RWA with DePin. Real world application is kind of the way that I would term it. But when I'm looking at just the DePin markets, I would either go with Helium or World Mobile Token. At valuation, you know, considering valuations and upside here, I think both are fantastic projects. I am going to edge out and go with World Mobile Token. So for the longest time, this coin, as you see here, was building on Cardano, which I think really held it down as far as sentiment over the course of time. But World Mobile Token is right up there with Helium, having one of the biggest networks in DePin in the entire crypto space. They have over 1 million users. Partnerships every single week for this ticker as well. And I do think that World Mobile Token is undervalued at this $120 million circulating market cap. So for DePin, like I said, you could go Helium, but Helium is a higher market cap. So for me, I'm going to set my eggs and DePin inside of World Mobile Token. I think that's a very comfortable token. It's on base chain now, a lot more volume there to come through the door. They do have some great exchange listings as well, but if you notice, they don't have Binance or Coinbase yet. So those are still potentially to come in the future. And if RWA and DePin really catch fire this cycle, I would assume that World Mobile Token gets one of those listings. So let's recap really quickly. We have our blockchain pick is going to be Solana. For AI, we have Tau. For gaming, we have Super. For RWA, we have Mantra. And for DePin, we have OM. So I still have 3 tokens left in 3 different narratives. So if you're enjoying this video, guys, like the video down below and subscribe to the channel for more. But let's jump into the next niche. And really, last cycle, I think one niche that is kind of being slept on, but there's one coin just dominating. And of course, that coin's going to be the selection here, because I think this coin could trade at 30 billion plus over the course of this cycle, just given how popular this protocol is. They have a blockchain. It's basically a decentralized perps exchange as well. And I think you would know what I'm talking about. So last cycle, we had Pancake Swap, Sushi Swap, Uniswap, all these, Phantom had the DEXs, like Spooky Swaps and all this stuff. Like DEX coins were very popular. It felt like you were investing into the exchange, right? And the exchange gets all the volume. And it's like if Pump Fund had a token, I would invest in Pump Fund, obviously. Look at the amount of money that they're making, right? So for me, the easiest pick in the trading / you could call it DEX, if I'm picking like an exchange play, I'm absolutely 1000% going with Hyperliquid. I think that is probably one that if you're hands off in crypto, this is right up there with the top, like Solana level of hold. I think that Hyperliquid goes to $30 billion this cycle as far as circulating market cap. And I would not be surprised if this thing literally starts flipping stuff like Shiba Inu in the short term, TON in the short term. I mean, it's right there with 𝗠𝗎, and people think 𝗠𝗎 is the next Solana. Like, I genuinely think we're going to see Hyperliquid at crazy valuations this cycle. All the projects want to be trading on Hyperliquid. A lot of projects, like potentially Nexus, we're going to be working with Hyperliquid, and they're perps trading a little bit. So a lot of stuff going on here for Hyperliquid, and just quite frankly, it has been the strongest performer over the last 45 days. So for me, Hyperliquid is going to be my DEX/exchange coin in this example. As if I was picking a pancake swap or a Uniswap from last cycle, I am going with the Hype token for my trading token. I'm just going to generalize it as exchange or trading token. Moving on down the line, we have Memecoins. Now, this is probably the hardest for me to choose. I have exposure in a lot of places. You know, I have a big bag of Brett, MOG. I'm in a bunch of different smaller coins for whenever meme coin season comes back. And of course, I think Brett is one of the most confident plays that I could give you. So I want to give you TLDR. All these other coins that I've given so far are very safe, like Mantra, Super, Tau, World Mobile Token, Hyperliquid, Solana. There's really not a lot of like drastic levels of risk reward one side or the other. Like, all of these have 5 to 10x potential on some of them, 10 on some of them, 5. But the downside isn't too crazy, especially from when we're making this video, because alts have just been hammered over the last month. But the meme coin side of it, I'm going to go a little riskier here on this one. I want to give you guys a high upside play to be able to jump into and maybe be able to ride out throughout the course of the cycle. And luckily, just like whenever I look at gaming coins, and I like gaming coins with AI integration, I also like meme coins with a little bit of gaming integration. So for me, I'm going to choose MLG. Now, the full disclosure here, I've been talking about this token since 30 million. Right now, this coin is trading at 90 million. This has been my highest conviction individual meme coin play over the last 30 days, easily. Like, it resonates with me as a gamer. It resonates with the culture. It has every bit of meme ability that you could imagine. They might have a little mini game coming up where you can trade inside the game. They're going to do LAN events potentially, is what I've been seeing. So for me, I love MLG sitting at $90 million market cap. I think that this has 500 mil plus potential. So that's about a 5 to potentially 10x if this thing hit $1 billion over the course of the cycle. And the good thing about this coin is if gaming runs, I could see MLG run alongside of it. And then if meme coins run, I could see MLG absolutely ripping in that same climate. So you have a little bit of multiple exposure here, as a lot of the culture here is, they talk about gamers. It's gamer coded, gamer super cycle, and that's all living on MLG. Now, so like I said, this is a little riskier than if I was to just give you something like Brett, which I think will get a Coinbase listing. It's sitting at 500 million. So if you want to go with a safer play, I would look at Brett, not listed on Coinbase. It's one of the biggest meme coins on Base. I mean, this is a no-brainer play to me, but I've talked about this one for far too long, and all the other coins here are so safe that I'm going to go with MLG as my meme coin play. And then last but not least, and probably my, it's crazy to say this, but obviously the narrative speaks for itself. We're going to call this section NFT coins. Now, NFT coins, you could go with 𝗡𝗙𝗀𝗀𝗀, anime coin, all these different coins that NFT collections have dropped, like traditional legacy collections, Bored Apes, Pudgy Penguins, Azukis. You have Doodles tokens coming out, apparently. So, like, there's a lot of different NFT projects that have coins in the market. I would say Pengu kind of acts like a meme coin a little bit. The IP there speaks for itself. Anime, I don't really know what their future plans are there. 𝗡𝗙coin, I would not invest in 𝗡𝗙coin in any given climate. I don't really care about 𝗡𝗙chain whatsoever. So it is a little bit of an interesting niche, but I think the no-brainer here right now is Pudgy Penguins. Pudgy, they just burned 13.69 of the total Pengu supply today. That's 12 billion tokens. Yes, 12 billion tokens. And for perspective, that's over $100 million that they just burnt off the total supply today because people didn't claim their free pudgies or their free pengu from their pudgy penguins. So if there's any NFT coin out there that I would be convicted in, it's the team from Pudgy, Abstract. It kind of gives you like an ecosystem level exposure, and it's a meme coin plus a culture coin. So for me, my NFT coin is going to be Pengu. So to recap, and I did put together a watch list here. So down below, if you want to check it out, I will leave a link in the description. The only thing that's not on here, because it's not on CoinMarketCap yet, is MLG. So once it goes on there, I will put this on this watch list. But as mentioned, my chain pick is Solana. My trading/DEX exchange pick is Hyperliquid. My RWA play is going to be Mantra. My AI play is going to be 𝗏𝗏. We have Virtual as my launchpad, Pengu as my NFT coin, Super as my gaming coin. I put Prime here because they're interchangeable. I have the same conviction in both, so I'm going to leave both of these on the watch list. And obviously, I'm so bullish gaming. We'll leave 2 coins on this watch list. And then we have World Mobile Token as DePin, and of course, MLG as the meme coin. So that's going to do it for today's show, guys. I think you could provide a lot of value to your portfolio by keeping it simple. There's a lot of altcoins out there now. Not everything's going to pump over the course of this market. And while I'm a little more risk on and have exposure to a lot of projects, if you're brand new to crypto, or maybe you want to de-risk a little bit but have exposure to all of these narratives, I think this is a great starting point and a little bit of a 9-coin portfolio across all of these narratives to be able to catch great upside with low downside throughout the rest of this cycle. So guys, like the video down below, subscribe to the channel, and I will see y'all on the next one. As always, play well, my friends, and please, in this climate specifically, stay bullish, my friends.